allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, I kept looking.
Roll call. Bryce Steiner?
Yes.
Jason Franks?
Yes.
Steve Jordan?
Yes.
Bill Boylan?
Yes.
Brian Smith?
Yes, sir.
And Dean Reister is absent. Motion to approve the February meeting minutes as presented.
We have to excuse Dean.
Oh, motion
I'll make a motion to excuse Dean.
I'll second.
I'll second.
to Bryce. Who seconded that? Jason?
Jason.
We do a roll call on that then.
Myself.
Bryce Steiner?
Yes.
Jason Franks?
Yes.
Steve Jordan?
Yes.
Bill Boylan?
Yes.
Brian Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the February regular meeting minutes as presented.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Second, Bill Boylan, second. Motion on the floor to approve the minutes. Steve Jordan?
Yes.
Bill Boylan?
Yes.
Bryce Steiner?
Yeah.
Jason Franks?
Yep.
And Brian Smith?
Yes.
Get you to sign. The last page. February month-end financial report. There's no questions. Entertain a motion to approve the report and bank reconciliation.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I will second that.
Motion on the floor to approve the February finance report. Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Brian Smith, Jason Franks,
Yes.
Steve Jordan,
Yes.
Bill Boylan.
Yes.
Pass this around for everybody to sign that they received the documents. Was there any questions on the reader report? If not, we'll move into, there's no guests this month. I don't think George was gonna be able to attend tonight's meeting, so if there's questions on the police report, we'll have to touch base with him later. Ashley has never submitted an EMS report for the month, so.
Is she having any issues collecting it, do you know, or do you have no
No,
idea?
collections have been coming in. We are getting collections from the Attorney General and as well as the typical regular collections that come in.
Okay.
Okay, moving into the fiscal officer report, we've got the third reading of ordinance 2024-03. This is an ordinance authorizing the village administrator to enter into a fourth addendum to the agreement for collection, transportation, and disposal of residential solid waste within the corporate limits of the village of Antwerp, Ohio. I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
I'll make it.
Jason Franks, second.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor to approve the ordinance 2024-03. Jason Franks,
Yes.
Steve Jordan.
Yes.
Bryce Steiner.
Yes.
Bill Boylan.
Yes.
Dean Reister. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian Smith.
Yes.
All right, you'll have to sign that one. Where it's marked on the back. Next, we have a third reading of Resolution 2024-02. This is a resolution authorizing the village fiscal officer to transfer $16,409.25 from the general fund to the severance pay reserve fund. Motion to approve this.
I'll make it.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor to approve Resolution 2024-02. Jason Franks,
Yes.
Brian Smith,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Steve Jordan.
Yes.
Bill Boylan.
Yes.
You want him to sign this?
Is there a spot on there for you to sign? Okay, moving on to the third reading of Resolution 2024-03. This is a resolution authorizing and setting permanent appropriations for 2024. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Go ahead.
Bill Boylan, second. Motion on the floor to approve Resolution 2024-03. Brian Smith,
Yes.
Bill Boylan,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Jason Franks,
Yes.
Steve Jordan.
Yes.
And now we have the third reading of Resolution 2024-04. This is the resolution authorizing the village fiscal officer to transfer $200,000 from the general fund to the water operating fund. Motion, or entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor to approve resolution 2024-04. Bill Boylan,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Jason Franks,
Yes.
Steve Jordan.
Yes.
Brian Smith.
Yes.
Okay, now we have the first reading of resolution 2024-08. This is a resolution of necessity to levy a tax that is a renewal of existing levy in excess of the 10 mil limitation for the purpose of current expenses. Ohio Revised Code 570503, 5705.19A, 5705.191, 5705.192, and 5705.25.
Can I ask a question? Okay. Which, last meeting, we discussed one that may or may not be absolutely necessary.
We discussed the police levy.
And which one is that one?
That would be the third one that says it's for police protection. So
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, that way if somebody asks me, I can try and explain something. So that's the
Well,
2024-10.
Yep.
Okay.
Next, we have the first reading of resolution 2024-09. This is a resolution of necessity to levy a tax that is a renewal of an existing levy in excess of the 10 mil limitation for the purpose of providing and maintaining fire apparatuses, appliances, and equipment, including a bumper, tanker, fire engine, and fire gear for firefighting personnel. Revised Code 570503, 5705.19I, 5705.191, 5705.192, and 5705.25.
Okay, can I ask a question on that? Are we looking at getting a new pumper?
No, this is the fund that they've created prior to me being here, that it basically accumulates, so when the time comes through, when they need to purchase a new one, the funds will be available, or at least a big chunk of it will be available.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
We don't need a motion on that. It's
Oh,
just first reading.
Yeah.
Next, we have the first reading of resolution 2024-10. This is a resolution of necessity to levy a tax that is a renewal of an existing levy in excess of the 10 mil limitation for the purpose of police protection. Revised Code 5705.03, 5705.19J, 5705.191, 5705.192, and 5705.25.
Now on that one, Kevin,
Yep.
when we last year put it on the ballot, was it labeled as a replacement?
That's the second levy. There's two police levies. There was one that was a replacement, which they basically was approved by the voters
Yeah.
to reassess at the current property values, because
But
it
it
was from like
wasn't to
1978.
replace.
This one is just strictly a renewal
Okay, I
of
just
where
wanted
it
to make
was
sure that we
originally
weren't-
in there. The reason we discussed this at last month's meeting
We
was
did, yeah.
the fact that even with the replacement cost on that new levy, it still does not generate enough to cover the cost of the police.
Right.
So that's why we decided to move forward with this.
We had to let the voters decide.
Correct.
And I was making sure that, okay, we weren't telling people that was a replacement, but then we still kept the one it was replacing too.
No,
But
that was
it's
only a
not.
replacement of that levy. It was
Okay.
not a replacement of this current levy.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have ordinance number 2024-04. This is an emergency reading, and it's an ordinance accepting the final plat of Maumee Landing subdivision, Phase 12, Lot 25 and 32, to the addition to the village of Antwerp, Paulding County, Ohio, pursuant to ordinance number 94-17, and declaring the same an emergency. At this point, we just need a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll motion to suspend the rules. I'll second.
There's a motion to suspend the rules on ordinance 2024-04. Brian Smith,
Yes.
Bill Boylan,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
No.
Jason Franks,
Yes.
and Steve Jordan.
Okay.
And
I was just gonna ask, like, why are we, I
The
didn't
reason
even
we
ask
did that
that.
is because if we don't do this, they have to wait the 3 readings, so like this allows them to go start like getting all the things ready to build. And we've run into this before with, I think, Mr. Ward's house. and maybe the
Every
Snyder's.
time, every time.
Yeah,
over
every time
time.
it sells on the plot, because if otherwise it's just pushing out their ability to be
And
able to move forward.
Yeah, okay, and that's what I wanted to know, otherwise I would have said yes,
Yeah.
but,
Well, another thing too is that once this is done, it pulls those lots out of agriculture, puts them in residential, and it starts earning more on property tax.
so this one here, it says it's the final plat. This will be done, we'll never do this again for
No.
Maumee Landing, is that
It's the
correct?
final plat of number 12, and next time it'll be the final
Okay,
plat of
phase-
number 13.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is not the end of it.
No.
No,
It just doesn't-
that's just
Or
the
phases,
plat.
the plat stays, well, the plat did change, because they took 3 lots and made 2. Okay, because the people wanted bigger lots and stuff, so that plat changed, and I'll be signing that one, I think Mr. McMichael gets back. But,
I think there's approximately 5 lots left
It's
back
getting
there, right?
really,
It's getting filled, I mean, it's getting
Well,
filled up. so.
And you said it'll transfer from agricultural to R2 or residential?
it transfers to residential, I don't know if it's R1 or R2, but,
And is it just this lot or is it all of them?
no, just the ones that he sold.
Okay.
Because there's obviously an economic advantage to leaving it in agriculture.
So it's not affecting anybody else?
Nope.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, I saw that and I just want to make sure it
And
wasn't.
then as he sells another lot, we'll have to do this again.
Mhm.
We do one,
Couple times a year.
I think it's
I
20,
don't
it was
think
20,
that
it was
often.
2022 was the last time. we
Yeah.
did
Wasn't that
this.
long ago?
So it's been.
I remember
The
doing it,
Snyder's
but-
did theirs, yeah, because
Time
the Snyder's
passes.
was the last one in, and then Ward was before that, but that was back in like COVID, I mean, when Mr. Ward.
So probably every 2
moved in,
years.
so,
Okay.
yeah.
so are we,
Well,
we-
we're
the
ready to
motions
move.
on the floor?
We already passed the rules to suspend, we're getting ready to,
I'll make
need
a
a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to approve ordinance 2024-04. Bryce Steiner?
Yes.
Steve Jordan?
Yes.
Jason Franks?
Yes.
Bill Boylan?
Yes.
And Brian Smith.
Yes.
Okay, so that needs a signature on the back. And that takes care of everything I've got for this evening. So we'll move to committee reports, if there's anybody that's gotta give a report. If not, we'll move into new business.
It looks like they were working on the park today.
Yesterday
A
too.
lot of digging going on.
Yeah, I think he buried the control panel, which was like that big box that was sitting over there that's kind of like, moving that, and then, they're moving forward. I think they finally, the weather's cooperated and they finally got free time, because I know they were busy with the school and Taco
Yeah.
Bell and all kinds of things, but yeah, hopefully, I think the goal is, now that I actually got a text from the group today, and I think now that they got it rolling, they're gonna be pushing it, and, I mean, we want to have it open by, I know the target was Memorial Day originally, I think last year or whatever, before all the hiccups and everything, so I would assume by Memorial Day, it will be
Mhm.
ready to go, so hopefully,
Great.
yeah, looking forward to it for sure. It's been a long road for certain.
Anything else?
Any, or as new business, I don't know if it's new business or not, Tim Thompson contacted me this afternoon. The zoning meeting that is planned for tomorrow evening, the county zoning meeting is going to be moved to the Ohio State University building in the fairgrounds because there's a larger turnout than they had anticipated, and it's still at 6 o'clock.
Any other committee reports? I just, I sometimes feel like my comments are redundant because I keep talking to some extent on the same projects, but the Safer Road Study, I believe I told you at last month's meeting, has been completed on the risk analysis, on the benefit ratio versus the cost, and it came out beneficial to us. I met with the architectural firm a week or so ago. They have submitted the data to FEMA, and so we're just waiting to hear from them, and hopefully they'll be generous and give us $1.6 million and we can fix it. So that's the hope.
Is there a timeline for that? Like when you submit to FEMA, is there they have to get back to you in a certain amount of time, or you just wait?
You just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have a time period in which they would communicate, but I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But basically, you just wait.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen sometimes it's earlier than they say, and sometimes it's months after, especially with FEMA being federal, because of the federal budget and all those types of things. that even makes it a little bit more difficult. The water tower, I reviewed the bid specifications and then I forwarded them on to who will be the company that will be the on-site inspector during the process to make sure we're getting everything we paid for and done correctly. They had issues with the bid specifications, that's why I sent it to them. They're working with the architectural engineering firm to get it corrected. They said that they hoped in the next few days or so that it would be done. And as soon as it's done, we will then begin the process to go bid on that. Because I would certainly like to have it completed, by midsummer, if possible, and stuff. So that's where we're with that. Our Safe Route to School grant has been finalized and has been submitted. And do you remember? Let's see. Oh, we turned in a cost estimate of $383,000 to do that. AEP came back and said that there'd be no charge to move the 3 poles, which I thought was wonderful. But I can't remember when the grant notifications come out. I want to say it might be April, but it may actually, I think it might be April. I need to check and see. But, so we're just sitting back and waiting to see whether or not we get the award. So, any other questions that I can answer for you?
Water treatment plant?
Still waiting to have our general plan approved by the Ohio EPA, which is interesting because it's been over a year. We have a meeting scheduled in the next couple of weeks, and we will be at the 30% complete threshold on the design and engineering of the new plant. So we sat down and we have to go over things with them and go out and locate things and stuff, and so we have periodic meetings and stuff. So, but it's just kind of a slow process, slow and expensive.
Anything on Canal Street? I know, ask everyone.
They're working on it.
They're-
I mean, they had some issues. Some of our catch basins, drains were semi-plugged, so the guys were taking care of that for them. And but other than that, they had, I think, a large part of the survey work was complete.
Okay.
So they're progressing.
As I said earlier, to you, we had a main break again last night. That's probably 10 of them we've had in.
I think that thing is. I mean, I just can't imagine how many clamps are on that line.
Oh, it's all planned.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, but we'll have to. I think that engineering is scheduled to be done in late April, early May.
Okay.
And then from that point, then we would start pursuing funding. I don't know how much we can get. I'm hoping we can get half. I don't know what the cost is gonna be, engineer's estimate and stuff. I would certainly be surprised if it was less than $1 million, but it's a possibility.
For just the engineering?
No, for the construction. The engineering was 74.5.
Okay. How about that on Canal and 49, that semi-truck post? Any update on?
Yeah, I talked with George yesterday. We actually were gonna have a new post made, but I never got a quote, so I never issued a PO. So, Nick Lombardner came in and was visiting with me because George had reached out to him, or Curtis, but we were looking at digging it up and replacing it. But we think the concrete's probably 10 feet deep and stuff. And so Nick and I were talking, and he goes, well, he says, I could use a piece of my equipment and kind of straighten it out. And he said, we could just weld it and repaint it. And I said, that sounds like a winner to me. I
Yeah,
said,
like you
the
said, I
trucking
think
company's
that could
gonna cover
happen.
the cost.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm afraid that if we have to go in and dig that, I mean, we're gonna disrupt that corner for 2 or 3 days.
Have quite a few water breaks.
Well, we're gonna have quite a few trucks that are gonna be a little bit mad. So,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's where I'm hoping, Nick was hoping he could get to it pretty quick, but we'll see. But he thought he could get her welded up and painted and good to go. Anything else? No questions, Bill?
Hey, I was cut short. I told him.
I don't think we used the word hung, Bill.
Well, I might have exaggerated.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
I don't think we have any old business from last month, so unless somebody's got something that I'm unaware of. That's why I said the mayor, that's why I move into the mayor's report if we have no other old business.
Trying to keep things moving here.
Yeah.
Report
We
is short
appreciate it.
too. The total to the cities, $511. Total to the states, $37.50. Indigent drivers, $1.50. Totals $550. Short and sweet.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Alright, motion to adjourn, Bryce Steiner, second, Jason Franks, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.